What is going on, my Breakthrough Broker friends? Dr. Bruce back in the house for another installment of the 90-Day Sales Breakthrough Broker podcast. Every single week, I like to come into your life and treat you as a solopreneur. It falls solely on you to go out there and grow your sales, your service, your marketing, and all of this is a mindset. And this week's podcast topic, I want to talk about status sells. Status simply means, are you the first person that other people think about in your community, in your industry, to use for your services? We live in the most competitive and saturated times than ever before. And so when I think about status, it really is how many people are calling me for my time, my energy, and my resources. How many people want a piece of my time, my energy, and my resources to help them go solve the problems that they might have in their life. I have learned that chasing anything sucks. I would much rather go out there and build a more attractive brand where I have people out there who need or want my services, and I'm the first person that they think about when it comes to that service. For this week's podcast, we're going to focus on a concept called status sells. I truly believe that status sells. What is status? Status is when you are the first person that other people think about in your market, right? When you have a status, other people already uniquely know who you are, what you do, and why you matter. Essentially, they know how you can help them through your services. And we work and we live in the most competitive and commoditized times than ever before. Competitive meaning, right, the rates driven or the price driven. There are more people than ever before in our markets and our industries. Quite frankly, a lot of it because of the technology that we have nowadays, right? We have more resources and tools than ever before where we don't have to rely on companies and other people to go out there and self-market ourselves. So that's a good thing, but also can be a challenge now because of the so many different people that are out there in our industry. So status to me is like, how do you become a must-have versus a nice-to-have? Status is, how can you dominate the real estate in other people's minds and other people's brains when it comes to your services, right? So I heard a stat a long time ago tied to the real estate community, which is 67% of the time, motivated buyers use the first person they talk to. And once I really thought about that stat, I think about that for my coaching business. There are more coaching platforms, coaching businesses, coaches than ever before in housing, banking, insurance, and financial, right? Now, it is my job to not get mad, like don't wish it were easy or wish you were better when it came to your marketing. And so that's the mindset that I'm in. And I go back and I tell a story always when I moved from Nashville to Denver to launch my business. I didn't know anybody in Denver. And I was out there in Colorado, and there were a lot of people using Ninja Selling, right? Like Larry Kendall, Ninja Selling. They're up in Fort Collins, which is about an hour and a half away from Denver. And so I move out there not knowing that, number one, Ninja Selling was already there, and they dominated that market. They dominated that space. And it wasn't a bad thing, but I just knew, like, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. To attract other people, you must become more attractive. So I just knew I had to get out there and get in front of as many people as I possibly could to capture that status, to build that status. And within the first year of me moving out there, I had my database grow over 1,500 people organically by following some different systems, by understanding that I needed to showcase my abilities, right? So when it comes to you and your status, whether you're brand new or you're seasoned, there are certain things that we can all do to go out there and increase our status. How can you become more attractive to the exact type of people that you want to do business with, right? So to me, it all starts by, number one, what is your marketing message? Do you truly have a marketing message where you know what it is that you do, where you know why you do what you do? Can you better package up your story and tell other people what makes you individually different, right? We call that your opportunity statement. Before I tell you what to do, let me tell you what I believe, and let me tell you why I believe it, and then I'll tell you what I actually do and how we do it differently and who we've done it for. And if I can help you like I helped all these other people, what would stop us from getting started? But there's a great concept called social identity, right? When other people socially identify with you on one or two or three areas, whether those are your upbringings, whether those are certain struggles that you've had, education, different interests and hobbies that you have, if you can really connect with people on those levels and then build that know, like, trust, and respect, then from there, that's going to help accelerate that relationship. So all of us need to have a marketing message that we can blast out there, whether that's through our newsletter, whether that's through a video, whether that's through written, whether that's through our social media, or whether that's us sitting down in any first meeting, whether that's sitting down in front of a group of people. We all need to be able to have something to say. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. What you do simply proves what it is that you believe. So when you can really hone in on your marketing message, that's going to help you have confidence to go out there and grow your status. All right. Now, the second part then is, all right, once you have your marketing message, that kind of ties into your opportunity filter of the type of people you want to do business with. So I believe that we only do business with people who have shared beliefs, right? So once you can identify who are the target markets and segments of people that you want to proactively go after. We've all heard there are riches in the niches. So a lot of times whenever I coach somebody, even if they have 15, 20, 30 years of experience, I always come back to the basics and I say, you know what, if you had to get started, if you had to reinvent your business tomorrow, if you had to torch everything and completely start over, who would be the riches in the niches? Who would be the exact target market and segments of people? Now, from there, everything that you do should be predicated on you getting your marketing message in front of those exact type of people. All right. Now, from there, what do you start to do to build your status? You start to build out your marketing assets, right? So you have certain videos, you have certain one sheets, you have a website, you have a landing page, you have your social media pages, right? So you start to really build out your marketing assets so that if you had the biggest meeting that you've ever had or the biggest opportunity that you ever had this afternoon, you're not having to reinvent all these things, right? You can go into that meeting where maybe you have your pitch, you have your slide deck, you have your marketing one sheet, so you go into that meeting with nothing but confidence because you have all your marketing assets already created around that one product, that one service going into the meeting. And again, I go back to when I first launched my business, guys, I created all these things and then I got away from it. I started running over here. It's called monkey mind, right? As entrepreneurs, a lot of times we get monkey mind where we're chasing all these different thoughts and ideas. So I always come back to those basics, right? So if I have a product or service that is just geared towards branch managers in the mortgage division, I can go into a meeting this afternoon, boom, with this one thing. If it's for title producers, if it's for real estate agents, if it's for an entire brokerage, if it's for financial advisors, right? I have all these marketing assets where I can walk in this afternoon and be super confident because I've already created these kinds of things. So that's another part about building your status is you can't have $1 million brand with 50-cent packaging. You do have to have really good packaging when it comes to your marketing and your branding. Now, the challenge that a lot of people have is they think their branding and their marketing has to be perfect. Done is better than perfectly undone. So just start getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Get 1% better every single day when it comes to your marketing and your branding. And then over time, you'll look back, you're like, oh my gosh, look at all this progress that you made. Because at the end of the day, talking to people and your phone and your relationships, that is still number one. But for a lot of people that I coach, especially like my real estate agent friends, you guys spend way too much time on your marketing. I'm not saying that marketing isn't important, but at the end of the day, you still have to talk to people, all right? So these are all just different strategies that I incorporate and I tell people to go out there and build out when it comes to their status. Now, another thing that I would recommend is when it comes to your status is what is your main lead gen magnet, right? So for instance, I do a podcast like this every single week, but this isn't necessarily a lead gen magnet. This is more for me to help build my brand image and my brand reputation of just pure consistency every single week. What I would ask you is tied to your niche product or service, what is your main lead gen magnet that you could, maybe it's a free PDF download. Maybe it's a webinar like this where it's an educational webinar that you can walk them through a process, right? But it really is like, I'm going to give you this and in return, you're going to give me your contact information, your first name, your last name, your email, and your phone number. All right. So that would be a question that I would ask everybody is, do you have that top of the funnel lead gen magnet that you can send out to the masses, whether that's in your community, in your neighborhood or your area, or whether that's really to anybody all over North America when it comes to your services. And then the second part of that then is how are you nurturing that database of people, right? So once they sign up for that thing, what are you doing to educate them? What are you doing to consistently stay involved? Whether that's your weekly or monthly newsletter, whether that's adding them on social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, I would add them in one place, not all three of those places. But what are you doing to consistently engage and stay in front of those people as that top of mind, right? So for me and my business, whenever I get these email lists that come in, I will upload them into Facebook and now I could do targeted ads towards my warm database of people. These are people who already know me, like me, trust me, and respect me. All right. And then eventually I have that call to action. If you're ready to get signed up or you want to spend more time on my calendar here is a link to do so. And I only offer that link to the people who are warm, right? Because now I know they're serious about my services. They've actually qualified themselves by going through top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, all the way down to the bottom of the funnel. So these are some things, again, to help you go out there and increase your status that I would recommend that you do. Now, there are other things that I recommend that you do as well. It's speaking showcase events, right? So I believe once a month or once a quarter at the minimal, you should get out there and you should do live speaking showcase events in front of groups of people tied to your niche products and services. Or you could do webinars like these that are live webinars that other people are going to sign up for, okay? I believe that you should get outside the office once a week and attend a networking event. So go there with your other connectors, your other referral partners, go work a room together, but get outside the office. You can't be a secret agent and expect good things to happen, right? So that is part of building a status is you have to circulate with purpose. You have to go out there and be involved in your communities, right? And all those kinds of things. And then I also believe once a week you should do mini advocate events, like little fun things that you enjoy doing. I'm going to go watch this ball game. I'm going to go hike. I'm going to do this workout, this exercise. Do the things that you enjoy with the people who matter the most in your life, and do 2 or 3 of those types of things every single month, and then invite other people to come do that. And then once a quarter, you should do one big, fun, cool advocate event where you invite your entire database of people. Now, that is a lot of information, guys. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. So out of all the things that I just said, pick what's most important for you right now in your business. That will help you really go from building a brand image to a brand reputation. A brand reputation, it doesn't take as long as you think, but it does require consistency and discipline, right? It might take you 6 months to a year to really go out there and go from, I have a brand image of how I want other people to think about me, to I'm actually out there doing it all day, every day. And because of that, now I have confidence. Because of that, now I see myself as a person of influence rather than a person of interest. A person of influence stays focused on engaging through education. As long as I wake up and I just educate and I do things like this, I have the heart of a teacher approach. I can't be concerned with the opinion of other people. I can't let other people dictate my confidence, all right? So I just stay focused on being a person of influence, which to me is just educating and giving other people value, the most overused and underdone thing that is out there. So what is your status? Status is incoming demand for your time, your energy, and your resources. How many people are calling you every single day or every single week and asking for your advice? How many people are trying to meet with you? So what are you doing to help yourself become more attractive to the market? And guys, listen, it does take time, right? But just wake up with a clear plan of attack every single week on how you're going to grow your status, and stay consistent and disciplined to your marketing message, and good things will happen to you at some point. As always, if you've enjoyed this podcast and you're interested in coaching, we do have new coaching boot camps starting every single quarter, every single first Monday. There is open enrollment for the next coaching boot camp. I truly believe trained always outperform untrained. I truly believe that everybody needs a coach in life. When it comes to coaching people in housing, banking, insurance, finance, especially when it comes to a 90-day boot camp, I will put our program up against anybody that is out there. We have a true 90-day curriculum. Every single week, you're getting live access to myself, access to certified coaches, access to other people who are going through this process together. Once you commit, we're not going to let you fail. My success or our success truly is tied to your success. So continue to go out there and build up your status. How attractive is your brand?